Y'all, when did Grills by Nelly become old school? Like, in my mind, that song dropped like 5 minutes ago, for real, for real. Millennials, if you are feeling attacked by Gen Z right now, this episode, this one right here is for you. So let's talk about it on But Also, the Real Talk podcast for real life moments. New episode up right now. Hey y'all, hey. Welcome to But Also, the Real Talk podcast for real life moments. If this is your first time joining us, I'm your host, GDazzle. Some of y'all know me as GDazz, but most of y'all just call me G, your girl, your friend, your sis, who is here to keep it real with you. Now, this podcast is all about diving into life's moments that don't always fit into a neat little box because life isn't always black and white. Here, we talk about the gray. So, both sides of the coins, where two truths can exist, those yes and moments of life, like feeling grown, but still thinking 2004 was yesterday. Here, we keep it light, we keep it real, and we keep it all the way honest. So, you'll get some laughs, a couple of kee-kees, and maybe even a moment or two where you say, dang, G, you just gonna read my life like that? Yes. Yes, I am. Because we're all living the same life, boo, and that's okay. So whether you're out here trying to figure it all out or just trying to make it through today, I got you. So let's talk about the highs, the lows, and all of the messy moments in between. All right, y'all, let's get into it. So, millennials, we hitting 40s, y'all. We are up there. I'm 38, but we are nearing 40. Some of us are knocking on 40's door. We didn't turn 40 this year. And the thing about it is, so much of it feels like it was just yesterday. Like, for example, I know I am not the only one who be blasting the Throwback station like those joints just came out a day or two ago. Like, for real, for real. And it's so crazy. I had a conversation with my boy the other day about music, and there was a new song that we were listening to. And as we were grooving and bumping, he kept saying, sis, I don't know what it is about this song, but I really, really like it. Like, I don't know why I like it, but I do. And I told him, of course you like this song because you rocked hardcore to this song with the original version that came out. And when I said that, he stopped grooving for a second and was just like, damn, sis, you right. I didn't even think about that. Of course not. Because why would we? Because coming up in that webby wipe me down era, why would I not like Gloria Hallelujah, also known as Glorilla in the Streets, What You Know About Me song? Because it's given hair, face, ass, titties. Like, why would I not get that? Why would I not like that? And here we are now at the stage where the music that we grew up listening to in our high school and college years are now the new remixes and the songs that are being sampled left and right. Okay, y'all. So check this. Quick story time. There was this one time that I was pulling up to a Dutch Bros to grab me one of their specialty lattes, right? And for those who are not too familiar with the Dutch Bros chain, they are a quick service, drive-through only coffee spot known for their uniquely crafted coffee and smoothie drinks with a little sprinkle of that Chick-fil-A welcoming drive-through etiquette, right? So as I pull up to the window, the drive-through attendant couldn't have been no more than maybe like 17, 18, 19 years old. So we start exchanging pleasantries, a little chit chat, and then she overhears my radio and is just like, oh my gosh, I love this song. And just for reference, a little bit of background, the song that was playing on my radio was Grills by Nelly. And so then she asked me, do I listen to a lot of old school music? When she said that, the verbiage, how she said it kind of struck me a little bit, but I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm not tripping. Yeah, I dip and dabble to old school. I listen to a few artists here and there. And then she proceeds to say, oh, yeah, me too. She's like, I love old school. Some of my favorite artists are T-Pain, Lil Jon, 50 Cent, Soulja Boy, Ludacris, Destiny's Child, Missy. And y'all, as she is name dropping these artists, in my head, I got confusion because all I kept thinking is, how the hell is this quote unquote old school? And to me, these songs just came out yesterday. Like, these are brand new hits that are hitting the radio airwaves. Y'all, the way that I left that drive-through bedazzled and audaced, I couldn't believe it. I was legit in total disbelief of that conversation that we just had. And with that, I just keep thinking, when did we get here? Like, when did the roles flip that music of today is no longer the music of my today and is now the music of this generation's yesterday? Like, what? When, what? When did that happen? And this is how I further knew it was real. Like, it's official, y'all. Our music is now categorized in its own genre. And I'm not talking like genre like hip hop R&B genre. I'm talking generational genre. And to break it down a little bit further, let me bust out this generational timeline for y'all. So starting out with the 60s, we got Motown, right? 70s, we got funk. 80s, disco. So to me, those categories that I named, those are the ones that I categorize as old school. For real, right? Then we get to the early 90s where we got the new jack swing. And then we get the thousands where we got neo soul, and then we got us, the Throwbacks crew, where so many eras within an era was born. A true time was had. Like, it was the best of times. And the thing about it is, this generation will never know the beauty of putting on a stank face when Lil Jon and the East Side Boys come on and resisting the urge to want to fight everybody up in the party because of it. Or one of my favorites, that wonderful Snap era. You know the one, that good old-fashioned lean with it, rock with it. That yup in my white tee. That snap your fingers, do your step. You can do it all by yourself, right? Or when we had music that involved a whole 8-count step from Soulja Boy's Superman That Hoe to Sierra's 1-2 step. And let's not even forget about our crumping our little hearts out to anything Missy Elliott was dropping out. Because who thought I was going to be the next background dancer in a Missy video? Was me. Okay, it was me. And you know what else this generation will never know? The music curation process that we conquered. Like, we were for real out here with the music producer slash engineering hats on, putting together whole mixtapes and CDs. All the way from trying to download music from LimeWire and Napster, hoping that you got the original song and not the one that had hella shout outs in it, to burning a CD with a carefully curated playlist that set the vibes just right from beginning to end. They won't know what it's like to walk around with a CD Walkman player. And even furthermore, thinking that you were big stuff if your Walkman had an anti-skip on it too? What? But the biggest flex, the one that really showed off your music head skills, is when you busted out that CD book, baby. And I'm talking about that one that was 8.5 by 11, had a zipper pocket, and you was turning pages of CDs for days. And we knew you took your CD book seriously, and you were real fancy if you also had the cover art of said CD in the sleeve as well. So therefore, you automatically knew where to put the CD back when you were done listening to it. Honey, you couldn't tell me my CD book wasn't fire. I had a big old CD book, and it was 3/4 filled of the way, like CD collection for days. And best believe, right? Best believe it wasn't just CDs of whole albums. Nah, baby, we had singles. And on that single, we had the original song, a remix, and an instrumental. And every now and then, maybe even a little bit of an acapella. Show did. I stayed collecting singles. I did. And don't let me go to school the next day flexing on them by knowing all the words to the song. Why? Because that CD cover made sure that I was prepared to sing along by providing me with the words to the song. Don't think I didn't read that little cover booklet from front to back every time I got a new CD. Because of the CD cover, I was able to recite all of Selena's Beady Beady Bum Bum lyrics, okay? Because Selena estás aquí, okay? Selena's aquí. I did. I knew all the lyrics. See, then we get into the car driving flex, right? Your car was legit if you had a pre-built CD player in that thing. And baby, if you had a multiplayer CD player busting out options, you couldn't tell us nothing. You couldn't tell us nothing. And do not get it twisted. We're not going to forget about those who didn't have the pre-built player in their cars and only had a cassette tape player instead. Because guess what? The Lord made a way and gave us the cassette player adapters to still play our CDs. And you know the one I'm talking about. The one where you had the tape and it had a little cord at the end of it and had the CD player at the end of that. And you stuck the cassette in the tape player and you put on your CD so you were still able to listen to your music. And here's the thing. And if you didn't want to deal with that cassette tape adapter, no fret, no worry. This is where we found ourselves rolling up to the nearest Radio Shack, Circuit City, or Best Buy to get a CD player installed that had a removable face for added security. Now, if you remember those removable face days, look, I stayed with that little rectangle case popping the face out to make sure didn't nobody get me, but also, showing off that razzle dazzle. And here's the thing. Not only did you get the one with the removable face, but the more lights and motion graphics it had on it, baby, the better. Okay. And the sound had to be bumping with it. Like if I walked into either of those stores, that Circuit City or Radio Shack, and I tested out that radio, that CD player face, and the bass wasn't bumping like it should, I don't want it. I don't want it. This isn't the CD player for my car. It wasn't. But here's the thing, right? I swear to you, nothing was more devastating when listening to a CD in the middle of a good groove. And that thing had the nerve to skip due to a scratch that was on it, just throwing everything off track. But never fret. Au contraire, mon frere. We definitely hopped into our scientist bag and had the perfect remedy to get rid of that scratch. And what was it? Baby, we was busting out that rubbing alcohol and Kleenex to clear that scratch off, okay? And I promise you, whenever you gave that CD a good once over with that alcohol, it was like a brand new CD. Music renewed. See, this generation has it easy with their music listening. All they got to do is stream. Just hop on the Spotifys or the Apples or whatever their streaming pleasures are, even YouTube. But they will never know the joys and struggles our generation endured to listen to good music and the fight to make the listen long-lasting. They will just never, ever know. So if you're like me, finding yourself vibing to the throwbacks like they don't even feel that throwbackish anymore, just know you're not alone. You're not. We're part of that beautiful era that shaped a whole vibe, a whole culture. And just because the music's flipped doesn't mean that we're outdated, because we're not. Nah, baby, we a classic, okay? We out here timeless. So whether you are still body rolling to Sierra, snapping your fingers to D4L, or one of my favorites, dusting off them knees with Cash Money and taking over for the 99 and 2000s, embrace it. Live in it. Celebrate it. Because it's not about getting older, y'all. It's not. It's about getting better with time. Like a fine wine. Or in our case, a fine-ass playlist. All right, y'all. That is a wrap on today's episode of But Also, the Real Talk podcast for real life moments. And if you're feeling what you heard, make sure you follow and subscribe on youtube.com/G, lowercase plus, capital D, GAZZLE, G plus Dazzle, so you never miss an episode. And hey, while you're at it, share it with the friends, share it with the cousins, share it with all who you think will get a kick out of this episode. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok at @ButAlso_podcast for more real talk, behind the scenes moments, and all of the vibes in between. So thanks for kicking it with me, y'all. And until next time, keep on keeping, keep on thriving, and surviving, embracing all of your moments. The good, the messy, and everything in between. All right, y'all. I'll holla.